Well, good morning. It is 9/11. We're back, and it is Women's History Month. We've been talking a lot about that this month. And one of Minnesota's most well-known female leaders was just named one of USA Today's Women of the Year honorees.
Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan has served in that role since 2018. She's also a member of the White Earth Band of Ojibwe and is currently the country's highest-ranking Native woman elected to an executive office.
Today, she's helping us spotlight other local women who are making a difference in the lives of Minnesotans. We are super excited to welcome back to Minnesota Live Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan. Last time we had you on, it wasn't in studio. We were talking in the fishing opener in Mankato.
That's right. It was a lot of fun, but it was very rainy and cold.
I was going to say, you got rained out the next day, as I recall. So,
How are you? It's been a while.
I'm great. So I'm so happy to be here and to be able to talk about, women who are great in Minnesota, and just it's been a good month. It's been a fun month.
And congratulations to you with that USA Today honoring you. That's fantastic. You are a woman who's making a difference and making a change and trailblazing a new path.
Thank you. It was a real honor, and to see some of the other women who were part of that list was pretty great. Lieutenant Governor Coleman of Kentucky, who's a good friend of mine, was also one of the recipients. So, I'm in good company.
Yeah. Women are doing powerful things. I know so many have influenced you, and you have. I'm sure you could name 20 women who have influenced your life, but you've narrowed it down to 5 for us today. And we're going to start with someone that we learned a little bit about yesterday. I mean, a lot of people already know Josie Johnson, but Shaletta was on talking about Josie Johnson. She's also a big influence for you, and someone that you wanted to talk about today.
Miss Josie, has really cleared a path for so many of us. She, is a civil rights icon and activist, and took up space for women of color in a time when that didn't happen enough. I think about her work at the University of Minnesota. She's a champion for voting rights, and I just, and frankly was involved in party politics before it was maybe fashionable for women to be in those roles. And so I know that I'm here because of Josie Johnson.
And she was a public servant for, what did we say yesterday?
70 years.
70 years, which is, that is crazy, that kind of longevity.
Absolutely.
To keep doing it. Could you do it for 70 years?
I'm going to do my best, right? But Miss Josie, she's really gotten it done, and is just, and it's been just like such a selfless mentor to so many people too. Like, she just continues to give, and we're lucky to have her.
For sure.
Well, the next person you want to talk about is a person who was sitting in your seat not that long ago, which is Senator Tina Smith. Yeah.
So Senator Tina Smith, I think, completely changed the way that we think about the role of Lieutenant Governor. And to be really candid, I don't know that I would have been in this role if it wasn't for her. She showed that you can be just a true partner, and that it's not a role where you're sort of focused on one issue, but you can really help shape an agenda with the governor. And now she's in the United States Senate getting it done.
How close are you two? I think that's kind of like, I think a lot of people don't really know how much in government, how much you guys talk, how close you are. Is she someone that you communicate with on a pretty regular basis?
Yeah, she's one of my really closest friends. And I think it's the beautiful part about politics in Minnesota and this work is that many of us are dear friends, and you need that. And I think as women, especially as we're walking into these systems that weren't always created by us or for us, having those mentors and friends, when someone who kind of gets it, you can maybe vent a little bit, right?
Understands.
And, can help you strategize a bit. But she absolutely, when Governor Walz, then Congressman Walz, first asked me to consider running on a ticket with him, she's the first phone call I made. And she said, come over tomorrow, we're going to take a walk around the lake, we're going to talk about it.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Melanie Benjamin, maybe not someone who everybody in our audience is familiar with, but why don't you tell us about her?
Sure. So Chief Executive Melanie Benjamin is the longest serving tribal leader for the Mille Lacs Band of Ojibwe. She is the ultimate auntie, is what I would call her in Minnesota. She's been just an incredible leader for the Mille Lacs Band, but also in Indian country nationally. She understands the issues of tribal sovereignty, the issues that affect our community, and has been a tremendous advocate. And I think she's really politically savvy in ensuring that, folks in federal office, as well as presidents, certainly listen to what she has to say. She's effective, and she is very funny. Which I think is, I think that's just a lot of this work I think that we do, and
It's
when
so
we're in these
serious.
roles,
Feels
it's so
heavy,
serious.
yeah.
You gotta have a sense of humor, and she certainly has one. But again, is one of those matriarchs, I think, in the community who is preparing many of us to then move into those roles as aunties and folks who can lead in the community. And she's invested in me for 20 years, and I'm really grateful.
Oh, how great to have that support. Tell us a little about Commissioner Jennifer Ho.
Yeah, so Commissioner Ho is when she first came into interview with us to be Commissioner of Housing, of Minnesota Housing, she had this water bottle that had a Cyndi Lauper sticker on the outside of it. And I was like, she is not your average, right, like public servant. And her knowledge on housing, she is a policy nerd in the best, and I mean that with the you know, in the best way, and has just been so thoughtful and deeply connected to people who are experiencing housing insecurity or homelessness. The compassion that she has, that she brings into this role, is really moving. She also has an incredible sense of style, which I think, you know, that some people have assumptions about how women are supposed to dress or look like in these roles, and she brings it. She rocks suits, you know, has a mohawk, come on. But just is an incredibly effective leader, and I admire her so much, and we're so lucky she works in our administration.
Representative Leigh Finke is the last person that you want to recognize.
Yeah, so Representative Finke is one of the most tender-hearted, compassionate leaders I've ever met. She has come into the legislature and talked about issues I think that haven't been spoken about in the way that she does on the House floor and in committee, making sure that our LGBTQ plus Two-Spirit youth really feel seen and valued and protected. She also is a skateboarder and will do that on the front steps of the Capitol, and I think, you know, can connect with folks in a different way. I've just watched her come in, put her head down and get to work and be incredibly effective in just her first term in the legislature, and I really look forward to what her future looks like. I think it's pretty bright.
Do you think that these women know what a powerful influence they're having on people?
I think for many of these women, they just do the work because it's what they're called to do. The other day, a young woman asked me, "How do you keep doing this work every day?" Or you know, politics can be hard. And I was like, "You just have to get up and do the next right thing and the next good thing." And know that I think many of these women know the work will never be done. That could either overwhelm you or be a message to say that I'm going to do the best I can, and then I'm going to prepare this next generation of women to be ready to fight these battles. And I think that's what all of these women do. They lead by example and bring people along, and that's why. And it was hard to pick five. We've got a lot of incredible women leaders in Minnesota, but I think that these are some of the best of the best.
Lieutenant Governor, thank you for sharing that. Peggy Flanagan is going to be sticking around here this morning.
Yeah, coming up after the break, the Lieutenant Governor is going to share with us 5 facts, including the boy band she says she's a super fan of. More Minnesota Live right after this.